Welcome back to the Eye in the Sky, and it's come to my attention that there are benefits to calling football games on national TV as opposed to just doing them on radio. The main benefit has to be the production meeting, which occurs the night before the game. So who's there? Well, it's the TV crew, the announcers. They get to sit down with coaches, front office, and players and ask them just questions about the upcoming game. And during this time, we sat with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. And as that meeting was winding down, the last question was, "Hey, Kwesi, who are you really looking forward to see playing tomorrow?" His answer, it kind of stunned all of us, was Max Brosmer. And we all kind of went, whoa. All right, we all know about Max Brosmer. He's the Golden Gopher. He spent 4 years at the University of New Hampshire. In fact, he was the only true freshman to ever start a football game at quarterback for the Wildcats. So well, what is it about him? And what Kwesi said was very interesting. He said, I want to know if there's room in the NFL for a quarterback who has a very quick release and is very accurate. Is there still room in this day and age of the NFL for a guy like that? Well, we got to see Saturday what a quick release and accurate throws look like. And in fact, it was pretty impressive. How did Brosmer do? 5 for 8, 47 yards. 1 passing touchdown, and then carried a 118.2 rating. So it's time we take a little bit of a deeper look at his performance and ask the pertinent question here is, can Brosmer make the 53? Well, let's dive into the film and take a look. Now, by this point, I think the Texans they're done with disguising, right? Here we go. That same kind of umbrella look here, middle open, 3-by-1 formation. So a little bit different in the route. We're getting kind of a similar concept. And this might be an example of where a quick read and release may be working against them, because I think there's opportunities here. So what you're going to get is on top, you're getting a receiver running a deep in route. Now, that one's going to be dead because cover eight's the best thing for it. You have an outside corner, and then you're going to have an inside safety. But down here at the bottom, you're getting a kind of a 3-receiver pattern where you're going to have a curl in the middle. This receiver is going to come out and work his way, and you're going to get the tight end to kind of come out late. So you're going to have a 1-2-3 type scenario. And as this play develops, you're going to see how this all works out. So right here, right now, you can see this play up top. It is dead. You have one corner here, whatever this receiver does, minus just running a go, is going to be dead. The curl in the middle of the field, and really what you end up doing is optioning this guy. If this linebacker stays in the middle, you're going to have this underneath route open, but the route that's coming open is this curl right here. And if you see Brosmer, this ball is already in the air going to his outlet. If he just waits a little bit longer, has a little bit more patience for this curl right here to open up, we saw Howell do it, right? We saw Howell on a 3-out strong route zip that ball in there in between the linebacker and the cornerback. In this case, Brosmer may want to take his time a little bit, but he gets it out to the outlet, again, quickly, which is important because of the distance. This distance right here, if you're going to hit the outlet, hit it as quickly as you can, give this receiver a chance to be one-on-one in some space, make a move. We got to get a guy to miss, add some maybe yards after contact, but not bad. If he just has a little bit more patience, I think there's some bigger plays to be made. Now, as we look at the back end, it's again middle open. A little bit different, though. A couple things that we want to keep an eye on. Right here, this guy's rolled up, and even more so, this backside corner is rolled up. We saw in the previous snaps, this corner was already playing off. This could be some form of cover 2, maybe a cloud, but it ends up actually being something completely different, and that's man-to-man across the board. So as Brosmer gets to the top of his drop, watch how this thing's developing, right? You have a receiver on the inside that's going to run a crossing route right here across the middle of the field. Now, normally if it's zone, he's going to hook up and create a middle, a spot in the middle of the field. He knows it's man-to-man, so he's going to keep running. This outside receiver is running about 12 to 15 up the field and then going to run the in route. And it's this route that you expect to come open. And had he run a little bit sharper of a route, I think, because at this point right here, Brosmer, I think, is going exactly and looking exactly in the right spot. You have man-to-man and a receiver, right, in this case, that has inside leverage on this cornerback. So when he does make this break toward the middle of the field, he should win this battle, and he really doesn't quite get it done. That corner's right in his hip pocket and is able to close in and beat him to the football. So I think on this play, Brosmer's going to the exact right spot. It's just not quite, the receiver's just not quite getting open. So a little bit of a mixed bag on this play, but still good read, good spot for the football. Could have been intercepted, but fortunately for Brosmer, it wasn't. Well, the Texans are back to the umbrella look again. Middle open, umbrella behind them. No one's rolled up. Probably going to get some type of zone. What's a little bit different is the offensive formation. And for defensive guys, always understand when you have stacked receivers, they're usually not going to threaten you vertically. They're going to threaten you horizontally. And we saw this route a little bit earlier. And what you're basically getting is the double crossers inside, meaning you're getting one receiver to go shallow across here, one of the tight ends to go across here, and then one of the other two receivers, whether it be this other tight end, someone's going to hook up in the middle of the field. So it becomes difficult for team playing quarters because these three underneath guys have to pass off all these crossers. Now, Brosmer does a good job getting the snap, setting up, and then seeing everything happening in front. And you can see this tight end's getting ready to hook up in the middle of the field. He's already getting ready to throw this football to this crosser. He's just got to be a little bit more patient. Why? Well, this ends up being incomplete because he overthrows him a little bit, but look at this tight end right here. Let these crossing routes happen and see if someone gets dropped. And if they do, you can hit them. He hits this tight end, it's probably going to be a first down. So a little bit more patience, right? A quick release you have to have it in the NFL, and it can be a great asset, but you have to be patient. I think if Brosmer is just a little bit more patient, he's going to have a lot more opportunities. This is the second example of just that. So when we look at this play at the beginning, a little bit different in the back end, right? You got middle closed, so something different's happening, whether it be man-to-man or some type of 3-deep. And they're giving Brosmer another bunch route. And the concept here is again, pretty simple. You're going to get a go route down here to try to clear out this area. And then a series of in routes, right? A short crossing route here, a guy up the field, and a dig. So we're seeing that shallow cross with the dig behind it. And then this third receiver is just going to come up here and hook up to give him an outlet. So it's going to be 1 to 2 and maybe over here to 3. Something doesn't quite look right here. As this route develops and we get to the top of Brosmer's drop, you've got this receiver still running a crosser. He should probably hook up, and this back over here should be a little bit wider. You should never have two receivers kind of standing together like this. But you notice up top with Brosmer, we're trying to, again, hit this little spin dig kind of a look, meaning you have a curl here and then a dig coming in right behind it. But this linebacker is doing a great job of playing it deep, so this dig isn't available. Fine. Throw it right here. We've seen him make this quick throw, but for some reason, he's getting ready to, but decides not to, and pulls this thing down and goes to scramble. So get rid of the football, getting rid of the ball a little bit too quickly sometimes. This case here, just go ahead and when it's there, pull the trigger. All right, so we're going to see basically the same route again. This one's going to be a little bit different, mainly because of the coverage. We're getting man-to-man here. So this receiver who normally runs a clear, he's going to run a comeback deep down the field, but it's on the front side that ends up being a little bit different. You're going to get two real crossers in going across the middle again, but this time this slant, because it's man-to-man, he's going to stay with it and continue to run. You run in man, you settle in zone. This guy's going to come up, run that dig again. This tight end will work his way out and run the curl. But Brosmer is a little bit more patient this time, gets a little bit deeper, and you see this opening in the middle of the field, and his receiver has this defender beat. And this is a very, very good throw, right on the money, right across the middle of the field, moves the chains. When coaches see this, they get excited because he gave it enough time to let that quick release and accuracy pay off, right? If that's your game, then you should be able to have a little bit more patience in the pocket. And when you do on a play like this, find the guy who gets beat one-on-one and go to him. So this right here is a very, very promising snap for Brosmer. I think this play is another great example of quick release and accuracy helping out. And this will be a free blitzer to the quarterback, basically. So sends a receiver in motion, getting the 2x2. You see the bump adjustment, but what we're getting here now is a free rusher. Okay. This defensive end will work his way underneath to pull in that tackle and create the soft edge, which eventually happens. And as this route develops, Brosmer is standing here in the pocket with a free blitzer coming right in his face. You got to hit the out route. You got to hit the quick route. This route to the flat's going to take too long. This is a stab. You know there's going to be a small window right here to get this football, and he does. And it's delivered and caught in the end zone. So this is more on the receiver of obviously catching the football, but at the same time, great job by Brosmer in being able to identify what's happening in front of him. You've got a free rusher. Get rid of that football. And he does so. He does so before the defender can even get his arms up. So a quick route, a quick stab route down here. Brosmer doing a great job getting it out. That's where the quick release and quick decision making and accuracy is important. Should have been a touchdown, but it wasn't. But he gets one more shot. So Brosmer gets his first experience at a fourth down in the NFL. Preseason nonetheless, but it's still the NFL. So what do the Vikings decide to do? Up on top, really what you're going to get is kind of a wiggle and go, and then a flat route. And what they're trying to do up top is put this corner back in a bind because they expect him to play some type of cover two. Down here on the bottom, however, you're going to get a series of call them slants, where one receiver is going to come in here and curl up, but it's the route on the outside by Miles Price that's absolutely fantastic because this thing, you see what they're doing here. You got the out route up top. This corner's starting to settle. This could be a possibility back here in the corner, but you have this underneath route that grabs the attention of the safety. And that's the main thing right here is this guy right here. Okay. He, instead of being patient and seeing things set up, he's going to jump this underneath route and try to in and out this. Even though you have two defenders here, this guy will eventually have to work to the running back. But what a great route by Price. As he gets to the top right there, that little wiggle that he does to buy some time and then work right in behind into the void where the safety is vacated. So look at Brosmer in the pocket, patient. Great job just hanging in there. Great protection, by the way. I mean, that, again, something that held up all day long. I mean, Brosmer has all the time in the world right here. Look at that pocket. I mean, just fantastic. Couldn't ask for a better pocket for a quarterback to have some patience, let the underneath routes clear themselves, and now you see this window that's opening up right here. And these are small angles. This is the red zone. Everything gets compacted. A lot of bodies in a short area. Brosmer reads it up, throws a perfect throw, touchdown, perhaps the most impressive pass of his day. Another promising throw for Brosmer. It's a little bit different, base down, going to get a little bit of play action. And he's smart on this play. Why? Well, we've seen kind of the umbrellas in the middle opens that he was getting. In this case, it's a little bit different. Middle closed, single high safety. We talked about that. Is it 3 deep? Is it man-to-man? Well, let's send somebody in motion and see if we can figure that out. Well, in this case, you send the receiver in motion and you see the DB run with him. And as he's getting across, he's trying to sift his way through. you're most likely going to get a blitz and then some type of man-to-man behind it. And this ends up really being a two-man route. Great call, because you're getting an interference route here underneath, and then you're going to get another receiver streaking across. That's important. Why? Because Brosmer's turning his back on the defense right here. He can't see what's going on yet, but execution, very good right here. Look at this. He's basically taking care of the guy covering him and picking for this wide receiver who's going to be running right underneath. And by the time Brosmer gets to the top of his drop, we've got a guy wide open right here. So you got the right route for the exact right coverage. Brosmer play fakes, turns his back on the defense. Not easy to do. Sees the pick work, has the guy open, and puts his football exactly where it needed to go. This should have been a big 3rd and 3 conversion for a first down. It ended up not being because the ball was dropped. But you hit this guy in stride, you make this a clean catch. He has one guy to beat. This could be another touchdown. So great job by Brosmer on the play fake to pop up, see the man-to-man, and then get the football exactly where it needs to go. And finally, for Brosmer, what kind of ends up being a zero blitz, but two-back set, middle closed, right? We talked about this and what to expect. You put the tight end in motion, and you're going to see everybody creeping up. Good play fake, and we're kind of getting an all out here, which is really kind of crazy. You have the linebacker here going, this guy's stepping up. He's going to eventually go because he has the tailback, and then this outside linebacker will blitz as well. And there's really no safety, no deep middle safety, but you are going to have an edge rusher that's coming free right here. A little bit of a chip buys him some time, but again, another free rusher in his face. And you look at where he is right now, there's not a lot of room, but he does know that his receiver is going to be breaking here to the outside, and just the last moment throws that football up as that break is happening. So this is great anticipation. There's that quick release. The question is the accuracy there to get it to this wide receiver? And this is a good 15, 20, about 20 some yard throw. Yeah, he has to come back to get it, but it's away from the defender. So in the face of another blitz, getting the football out, putting it only where the receiver can catch it, great decision and really a great throw. So I think overall for Brosmer, the quick release and the accuracy is there. We've seen it, and he's managing this offense very well. But we also have seen where a little patience is going to take him a long way. So in this next game, what you're going to want to see is when there's the opportunity to take the time, let these routes develop, get those deeper routes, and continue what you've been doing against man-to-man. You blitz this guy, he's pretty good. Even with a guy in his face, he's able to get the ball out quickly and get it to where it needs to go. But the accuracy is there and the quick release is there. Can he get down the field? That's what we need to see. We need to see him get that football, let those longer developing routes happen. And does he have the arm strength to hit an in route? Not at 10 yards or 5 yards, but at 15, 20, 25 yards. Well, we got 2 games left to see, but Brosmer's able to do all this. He might have a good shot at this 53-man roster.